So we're here today with Craig Beissel of AXIA Home Loans here in Hastings. Craig, thanks for coming on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Craig, you have been located here in Hastings with AXIA, at least, for a few years now?
It's going on. It'll be 2 years here this summer already. Time really flies.
Great. And before that, you were with a local bank for a lot of years.
I was there for probably 10 years, and before that, I hopped around a little bit. So all in all, I've probably been in the mortgage business for almost 20 years already. A lot of my role responsibilities is actually, networking, getting out to know people, staying in front of people, so that when folks think of a mortgage or if they ever have a mortgage-related question, my goal is to be front of mind. Right. I want to be the first person people think about. I'm not always a good fit for everyone's situation, but as long as, I want people to think mortgage, think Craig Beissel. Let's go talk to Craig, see if he can help us. And a lot of my day is networking, staying in front of people. And then, of course, I try to meet with I meet with 2 or 3 clients throughout the day. A lot of my business is follow up and answering phone calls, speaking with underwriters, talking with title companies, going to closings, which is always a good thing. So every day is different, and that's what brings excitement to the job. Some days you just never know what you're going to get.
This time of year, as far as the market,
yes,
I know in real estate, on the real estate side of things, it's unusually hot right now.
Yes.
Low inventory, especially here in Hastings. And if someone comes to you and says, hey, we're going to go out, with Tom or another agent, we're going to go out and look for homes. What are some of the things that you do to get them ready to buy a house?
Great question, and that kind of goes back to that me being that consultant, if you will. Mm-hmm. Obviously, before you go out and look at houses, you should sit down with a loan officer, run some numbers. Far too often I'll get phone calls from someone who I haven't even met before, and they go out and look at a house on a Saturday and they want to make an offer on a Sunday, and here I am scrambling, pulling credit, running some different numbers, and don't even know if we can get it pre-approved.
Yeah.
So it's very important to, I encourage folks to, if you're even thinking about buying a house in the next month, 2 months, 6 months, it's never too early to sit down. You may not know what's on your credit, you may not know what you qualify for, you may be surprised with what you qualify for. Mm-hmm. So I have a meeting this afternoon where a client had called me 6 months ago, and we sat down and we started putting some numbers together, and now they're getting ready to list their house. We already have everything in place. We're just going to meet today and kind of review what we talked about 6 months ago, and make sure we're still on the same page with where rates are at. It's never too early to have the conversation.
Of course, you can get a home loan online, right?
Right.
Yep. With somebody in California or Missouri or wherever, but you offer that face-to-face, one-on-one contact.
Exactly. And that's how I like to think I set myself apart from the 800 mortgage companies or the usamortgage.com. Mm-hmm. You're going to get that face-to-face. You're going to get that hand-holding from someone locally. I'm going to be available at nights. I'm available on the weekends. This is not an 8 to 5 job. The conversation people always want to have with me is, what am I pre-approved for?
Yeah.
And I always turn that back onto the client, and I'll ask them, what are you pre-approved for? What does your pocketbook say? My computer and my paperwork may say X, that you can qualify for this. However, I want to know that fits into you. So I kind of work backwards in the sense that if you tell me that you're comfortable with X amount of month payment, I will run numbers and I will pre-approve you based on that,
right,
so that you're comfortable with it. And if we need to go higher, we need to adjust it, we do that. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather put it in my client's court, if you will.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think you can afford, and we work backwards. There was a time in this industry where if you had a number 2 pencil and a pulse, you were buying a house, and that's not the case anymore. It's let's make a sound decision. Yeah. Let's have you involved with the pre-approval process. Let's have you help me pre-approve you.
You're also working with folks who want to refinance their existing loan.
Right.
Maybe talk a bit about that with me.
Right. That's kind of a topic right now. Tom, you mentioned that there's some low inventory right now, mm-hmm. but at the same time, rates are extremely low again. So we're seeing a peak again in refinancing.
Okay.
And I have clients call me, hey, where are your rates at? Quote me an interest rate, and let's see if it makes sense to refinance. There again, I don't like to just quote interest rates over the phone and say, hey, here's where interest rates are at. Now, see if that makes sense. Let's get you into my office. Let's find out what your future goals are. When are you going to retire? Do you have a financial advisor? Do we have kids going to school? What are some of your goals and plans? I've had refinances where it makes total sense for someone to refinance based on where they're at in their financial situation, and I could take that scenario, to another client, and it could make no sense at all.
Yeah.
So everyone has different ideas of when does it make sense to refinance. People will say, well, if I don't lower my interest rate by 1%, then it doesn't make any sense. If I have to pay closing costs, it doesn't make any sense for me to refinance. Well, you don't know that. Let's sit down. Let's look at some numbers. Let's look at some different options. Maybe you didn't know you could do this. Maybe you didn't know you could do that. What's your other debt like? I mean,
yeah.
Do you have a lot of credit card debt? Do you have some other things? Could we restructure some things? So I like to take the full picture of it. It's just not, hey, let's look at your mortgage. If I can better the rate by 1%, it makes sense to refinance. Well, that might not be the case.
Right.
I've taken people. I've had repeat clients who came into me, 4 or 5 years ago to a 15-year. They want to get their mortgage paid off. They got 4 years down the road, and here now Susie and Junior are going to college. They want to help pay for college. We might go back to a 30-year fixed mortgage, maybe take some cash out, change some things up.
Yeah.
So everyone is different. Every scenario is different. And there again, that's where I bring that face-to-face, sit-down consultation portion.
Right.
And say, hey, let's just not quote an interest rate. Let's just not email you a rate. Why don't we come in? Why don't we sit down and figure out what's going on? Where can we help you? Does this make sense? Does it not make sense? How can we better your situation? And I've had clients tell me that they wanted to refinance, and I'll recommend not refinancing.
Right.
And maybe they'll, just because I don't think it's a good fit right now. And do I lose business? Yeah, perhaps. But sometimes, I'm allegedly the expert. I have to recommend what I feel is best in everyone's interest. I can do construction style financing, first-time home buyer programs with down payment assistance, of course.
Yeah.
FHA, we love VA loans. They're a great program if you're a vet. Use your VA eligibility with that 100% financing. It's phenomenal.
Are you getting a lot of first-time home buyers because of the low interest rates?
That's a great question. Interest rates have been low for such a long time. Me personally, I don't think I'm necessarily getting a lot of business because of where the rates are. I feel as though if a first-time home buyer is ready to purchase a house, let's get you into affordable house. Even if, granted, maybe rates could go up again, and, that might turn people away. But if they do go up, but you find out, maybe values have gone down, and maybe interest rates have gone up, but you start, sitting down and seeing what an actual payment would be, now that interest rate may not be so ugly if you understand what that payment is. So we never want to be scared of interest rates or anything else. There kind of goes back to what are you comfortable with? What's going to fit into your financial goals, what's important to you. My cell number is 651-253-9002. If I'm in my office, if I'm not out networking or on appointments, I'm at 830 Vermilion Street. I do have a website. My website is homeloansbycraig.com.
If you would like your business featured on Hastings Happenings, please give me a call, 651-402-6356. Against Tom Bullington with Keller Williams. My email address, tombullington@kw.com, on the web at buysouthmetro.com.